Well, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. Welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Today I wanted to continue coloring the mandala that I started a while ago, and it is from the Christmas Mandalas by Kameliya Angelkova. And I will link this book down below. As everybody knows, I'm really getting into Kameliya Angelkova's books. I have many of them now. Alrighty, and we were coloring this cute little gingerbread house mandala. And all we have left to do are the poinsettias and Christmas stockings around the outside. So I think I will start with the Christmas stockings, and I am going to do them in red and green, and then use my, it's like a almost a clear, maybe with a hint of gray, for the fur on top. So let's find a pretty red and green gel pens. Okay, there's a good red, and I think I'm going to go with a little bit lighter green for the stockings, because I'm going to use a little bit darker green for the leaves to really contrast with the berries in the inside, because I'll probably be using the same red for the berries. So I'm going to find a dark green, as long as I have the greens over here. That's too dark. What? Let's see. Oh, that one's just about empty. We don't want that. Not on camera, anyhow. One's kind of dark, too. I don't want to go too dark and lose the line work here. Well, this one's an olivey green. That might be good. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll kind of use an olive green for the leaves. Okay, let's get a regular green then for the stockings. Let's see. Yeah, that should be good. And then one last thing, I'm going to find that clear one for the fur on top again. There we go. Okay, we have all of our gel pens picked out. Put these two back. All right, so let's see, what should we do first? I think we'll take the red. And I think each one I'm going to do the opposite. So this one I'll do the red background and then the green. And then this one I'll do the green background and then the red, just so they're not all identical. So let's zoom in a little. Alrighty. So how is everybody doing? You having a good start to your week? I am recording this on Tuesday morning, and so I do hope to get this up yet today. I have not recorded much lately, and I haven't done a color and chat since the start, part 1 of this, and I will link part 1 of this down below in the description for any of you that are new, or any of my existing subscribers that just didn't see part 1. I am using my Chromatek gel pens. This one is a Color Technik, and I love them both. They have refills. Of course, I love my Chromatek because they have very legible alphanumeric codes on. I wonder if I have a, here's a Chromatek, in case you're not familiar with them. They have a alphanumeric code on the barrel, although it's not on the barrel anymore. They originally started it with it on the barrel, It is, however, on all of the refills. So even through the clear barrel, you can see the code right on the barrel of the refill. So they did that. They took this off the barrel to keep costs down. Rather than increasing the cost of the pen itself, or the set of pens, I should say, they opted to take that off and just let you see the code on the refill, because, you know, you can see it. And then all of the refills in the packs also have this code. And again, I love it because they're very legible. Whereas these refills, yeah, there's a code on there, but it's clear. It's more just like a, what do you want to call it? An indentation, an imprint in the barrel, so you really can't read them at all. So typically when I need a refill, I swatch them out and see which one is the correct color. So not as nice, but the Color Technique color very, very well too. I will link both of these gel pens down below also, in case you are interested. Last time when I linked the Chromatecs, I noticed the 50 set that I have is no longer out there. So I don't know if, like in the past, they ran out. They were unavailable for a while and then they came back. Now I see they're not out there again. So I will link the 30 set, which comes with 30 refills. So it is kind of, they call it a 60 set, but it's actually 30 pens and 30 refills. And then you can order the 30 set of refills separately. So I do like that. I like the fact you can find a refill real easy, because when you are doing patterns and stuff like me, or coloring an entire picture in gel pens, you typically have to find a refill, rather than if you're just enhancing a picture with the gel pens. Probably don't go through as many as I do. What is everybody coloring? Again, I am coloring this. You know, some of you may be wondering, why in the heck is she doing a Christmas picture? Well, there are a few Christmas in July color alongs going on. So I thought I would participate in that and do a Christmas picture. And I wanted to color out of this book anyhow. I thought this book of Kameliya Angelkova's was so cute. There's so many cute mandalas in here. I do have a flip through of this on my channel. I think I had a number of other books that I had shown at that time. So it wasn't just this book. If I think of it, I can link that video down below in case you want to see what all of the pictures are like. I like them because the lines in her books are, they're not the real thin lines, because I don't like the super thin fine lines. When you're working with gel pens, I guess it's not as big of a deal. But if you're coloring with marker, especially alcohol marker, thin lines don't work real well. And hers aren't thin, but they're not super thick either. It's kind of like Goldilocks, you know. It's just right. Whoops, I almost forgot the heel. And today is the 50th anniversary of man first walking on the moon. Well, they didn't walk on the moon today. They landed. I think they said it is first, is it Thursday, I think, when they actually walked on the moon. So they were there a couple days before they came out and actually, where Neil Armstrong was the first one and actually walked on the moon. Let's get this down a little bit. So yeah, Apollo landed. Now they were talking about this morning, they really want to get their space program going again. They are looking at possibly 2014, yeah, let's go back in time. 2024 to have the next rocket ready and to do it again. You know, I've often wondered how come, you know, in 50 years, why we haven't done it again. I mean, I know that's an astronomical feat to, you know, get together and plan, but you know, in 50 years you would have thought we would have done it again. They say, some are saying that even trying to get it ready and you know, be ready in 5 years would be really pushing it. So I don't know, but it'd be pretty exciting. It would be in our lifetime that we would get to see another moon landing. And they're talking about it would be, they probably would have for the first time ever some female astronauts going. That would be neat too. As long as I have the red out, let's go ahead and do these berries. So yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. That would be so exciting to have another landing on the moon. Alrighty. And of course, as I am sure everybody is aware of, yesterday and today are the Amazon Prime days. Who's been doing some shopping? Fess up. I think that does go with the berries. I actually haven't. I've been good. I've been good. I have been, if anybody is watching the community posts, I go through and I look through all the current Amazon deals because they are, you know, they're changing every hour just about. And I don't catch all of them, but I have been trying to post a number of the current Amazon deals for you guys on the community board. Now, somebody had told me that she can't see the community board because she is on a mobile device. And I'm on my phone and I can see the community board. So do any of you have that same problem where you don't actually see the community board and all the postings? I'm kind of curious because, yeah, I mean, there are some kind of important and kind of nice updates that some of us colorists, you know, put out there, or color tubers, I mean. And so it's kind of nice to see those. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you are able to see all those community posts, because not just myself, but some others leave links or they leave messages as to maybe why they've been gone, you know, from ColorTube for a while, or announcing that they're going to be gone for a while, you know, just things like that. Oh yeah, I like those two colors together. I think that looks good. Now we'll see how the poinsettia leaves look with this more olivey type of green. I know they're truly not an olive color, but wanted something to kind of contrast between this green and that. So that's what we're going to make. Okay. I hope anybody and everybody that was in the pathway of the hurricane, or you know, once it came on shore, the tropical storm, with all that rain and flooding, I hope you guys are all safe. I've been thinking of you guys down there. You know, and to have New Orleans hit again is not good. You know, especially with, you know, New Orleans being below sea level. When they get, you know, things like that, it's especially hard down there. That's why all their houses are built up on stilts. Which is very smart of them. Be really strange for us up here to be, you know, built up on stilts and not have basements. Many of us use our basements for a lot of storage. Or, I know there are a number of you that have your craft rooms downstairs. We did have, and I heard a few color tubers that also had flooding in their basement this spring. And worst of my flooding, thank heavens, was in the unfinished side. I have half of my basement that is unfinished, and it's, you know, where the hot water heater and furnace and all of that is. But then it's divided by a wall, and the other entire half of the downstairs, it's one huge long room that runs the entire length of my house. That is all finished with carpeting and whatnot. And yeah, we had, I mean, it wasn't like inches of water, but the carpeting was pretty soaked going up to the steps. And so, but I know there are others who had it much, much worse than that and had to tear out carpeting, and many had things ruined. So I guess all in all, I was pretty fortunate that I only got the flooding that I did. I know my next door neighbor, they had quite a bit in their basement, because he said that when some of the houses up the hill, which is actually south of us, so it doesn't sound like it should be up, it sounds south should be down. But anyhow, it is up the hill, and I can't remember why he said that it happens this way, but ever since, I guess, those houses went in, I think it's something to do with a spring or something, but all the water runs right down to his house and goes in the basement. So they did have to put a sump pump in a number of years ago, and oh yeah, you see water coming out of that drain tile hose going down to the sidewalk quite often. It kind of is right in between our properties where that drain tile hose comes out. And yeah, it's, well, when the flooding was, he even had it running out onto his front lawn. He had a couple of them going. The other drain tile he typically has rolled up and next to his house, but he had both of them running this spring. I do have room for a sump pump in my basement, but there's a well, a covered, I have a cover on it, but there's not actually a sump pump in it. Knock on wood, I have not up to this point really needed a sump pump in there. I've had some, minor flooding and stuff down there once in a while, but nothing too drastic. Like I said, I shouldn't say that. Okay, just buzzing right along. We have the stockings almost done after we get the white on. So yeah, I think this part 2 will be much shorter than part 1. And after this, I want to do, probably not this morning, because I'm recording this before Maddie and Jaden come, but tonight or tomorrow morning, I am hoping I want to do another color and chat for the chibi color along. I have one picked out. Now, you're not even going to be able to see this. Because it is pretty much just clear. I have a few things coming from Amazon on Thursday, so I'll be doing those unboxings probably on camera on Friday. Fridays I can get some recording done, typically, because I don't have the kids. And this will be my last full week of babysitting for quite a while, because Heather, my daughter, is getting induced on Tuesday. We will finally find out if I'm going to have a granddaughter or a grandson, because they opted not to find out. So yeah, that's exciting. They're not real sure yet what they're going to be doing with Maddie. Because of course his mom and dad want to, come down for it too, and I want to be there. So we're not sure if maybe one of Adam's sisters could take her for a while. Adam seems to think that, she could just stay at the hospital. But that's an awful long time to expect a 3-year-old to sit. Depending on how long Heather's going to be in labor this time. For her first 2, she actually wasn't in labor too long. So we shall see. Hopefully she'll have just an easy of a time as she did with the other two, even with Jaden for her first baby. And I was in the delivery room with her for that. Maddie was actually the first grandchild that I wasn't in the room for. I seen all my other grandbabies born. Which was kind of neat. And they still really haven't picked out names. Well, a girl's name they kind of have picked out, and that's Emily. For those of you who are new, I think in part 1, I think I explained how she picked Emily, which I still think is hilarious because, again, for those of you who haven't heard the story, I have mourning doves nesting in my garage, and they're on their 3rd batch of babies. And when they had their first batch of babies, I named the mom and the dad Emily and Edward. And ever since Heather heard the name Emily, she's fallen in love with it. So yeah, if it's a girl, it's going to be named after a mourning dove. Is that not funny? I think it's hilarious. And I do like the name Emily. I think that's pretty. But yeah, they just really can't decide on a boy's name. So, and Adam is just, hee-hawing around about it and won't give her a definite answer when she'll say, well, what do you think about this name? And what do you think about this name? And he just kind of shrugs his shoulders. And so she's going to dwindle it down to like a few names, and then she is going to show him the names, and she's going to say, you gotta pick one. She says, I do not want to be going into the hospital, coming home with a baby that doesn't have a name. I says, I don't blame you. I wouldn't either. That would bug me. As I've said in the past, I am a very big planner. I make a list for everything. And so, yeah, we always had our kids' names picked out quite well in advance. I think I kind of do like that green. It looks quite bright on camera. Let me see if I bring it up, if you can see it a little bit better. Kind of fuzzy now though. It is definitely an olive green. Are we fuzzy down here? No, it was just when I brought it up. Okay. So yeah, can't wait till the grandbaby's here. And then like I said, I'll have a good 6 weeks off. I think this time she's planning on taking the full 6 weeks. With Maddie, she took off, I think, 5 weeks. And then, I think, went back full time right away. Well, this time she's planning on taking the whole 6 weeks, and then she's going back part-time for a while. So, which means I'm going to be running a little short on cash because she doesn't pay me a lot, but, she pays me a little bit to watch the kids, and every little bit per month adds up. So, yeah, we'll see financially how the next couple months go. But yeah, it's going to be nice for me to have a break too. It's just going to be very hard once she does go back to work with, I have my hands full with Maddie alone some days. And then to have this little one too. I was really busy over the weekend doing some spring cleaning in summer. I've been meaning to get to some of it for a long time, and it just never happened. I have a big cedar closet at the end of my hallway down by the bedrooms, and it was kind of a catch-all, you know. I think everybody has like that junk drawer that you throw things in where you don't know where else to go with it, and closets that kind of get jammed full of stuff too, right? And that was my cedar closet. Really beautiful, beautiful closet. I don't know if any of you have one, but you know, they make the cedar closets, you know, of course, out of the cedar wood, and it smells really good in there. But it keeps, you know, all the bugs and, you know, stuff out that typically can eat clothing. You know, if you ever heard of that, where you store stuff for a while and you get them out and there are holes in your sweaters and whatnot. Well, that's why there are cedar closets and cedar chests and things like that. At least I think that's the reason. I may be wrong. But yeah, this cedar closet is really nice and big. And, oh, I like that. Okay, let's go down to the next one. And it had a bar across the top so that I'm assuming you could hang your out-of-season coats. So like in summer, you'd hang your big winter coats in there. Well, we didn't do that anyhow. And so, yeah, it was a catch-all for, you name it. A lot of bedding was in there. And bedding I don't need. I mean, how many sets of sheets does a person need? You know? I basically need my set of fleece sheets for winter, and then a couple of sheet sets for summer. You know, you wash one set of sheets, you put the other set on, and then wash the other set. I mean, 2 sets of sheets are plenty. Well, 3 with the fleece ones, but... And I betcha I have... Oh, I bet you 10 sets of sheets. And then a whole crap load of blankets, couple sleeping bags, you name it. A whole bunch of towels. I pulled out a whole ton of towels from in the bathroom. I had so many towels, and that's why some got it put in the cedar closet, because all the drawers are just full of towels. Who needs that many towels? It was different when the kids were home, because they could never use, you know, the same towel twice for a shower. I used mine a couple times. It's like, how dirty does the towel get drying off? So I do use mine a couple times. But you don't need a gazillion towels. I bet you I have close to 30 towels. So I'm packing up a bunch of them. Some of them are really thick, heavy, huge bath towels that have hardly been used, but they take up so much room. So I am giving those to Heather, because she said they could use some nice big bath towels. And it's nice, you know, some of these towels would be nice for the kids when you go swimming. I am keeping some of the bigger towels for the kids when I take them swimming, or like when Maddie's out back in the pool. So I am keeping a few of them. But again, I don't need 30 towels. And bunch of washcloths and hand towels and oh my heavens. And what the kids don't want, I heard that the humane societies can always use, you know, towels and blankets, and I don't know about sheets. I doubt whether they would need sheets. I mean, I can see them wanting, you know, possibly towels and blankets, because I heard they use blankets like for bedding for them to lay on, any of the pets. And so I was either going to call them, or I have had Easter seals come out and pick up a bunch of boxes of stuff after I have a rummage sale every spring when Marathon has its citywide rummage sale. So I usually get in on that. This year I didn't because Bob had surgery. And he usually, you know, helps out a great deal. He's got to get all the big heavy boxes out of storage in the back room out in the garage, because they're way up high. So he brings them down for us, because Heather's in on the rummage sale too. So I had to kind of cancel this year's rummage sale. Where was I going with that story? You know, sometimes you get talking about, you get off onto a rabbit trail sometimes, and then it's hard to get back to your original subject. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Easter seals. And yeah, I was going to call them up. Many times I have just scheduled a pickup online, because you can, you know, just go to their site and schedule a pickup, and they come on the day that you schedule. They'll let you know the time frame, you know, between this hour and these hours that they're coming, and you have it out ready for them, and they just pick it up. And I thought, oh, depending on where that stuff all goes, if it's anything to like the homeless shelters or, you know, whatever, I imagine they can always use sheet sets and blankets and towels and, you know, things like that. So, one or the other, I'm going to be donating a bunch to. Whatever Heather doesn't want, I'm going to be donating somewhere. Because heaven knows I don't need it nor want it all in my house. I don't even know how I accumulated all of that stuff. Excuse me. Isn't it funny how we just kind of keep accumulating things over the years, and yet we don't get rid of much, so it just keeps growing and growing. So that's why I did not get much recorded at all. As a matter of fact, I don't think I got anything recorded over the weekend. Because, yeah, I was in a cleaning mood. And then, Bob on Sunday, the cedar closet had no shelves. And I think it was because, you know, you're supposed to hang coats, which, you know, women's coats are longer. So I think that's maybe the reason why there were no shelves in there. And that's why everything was just piled high in there. Because when Mallory was at home yet, and due to reasons I won't go into, her boyfriend moved in. And so they were both in that one room, and ended up, you know, buying some things together, some bedding and Joel brought some stuff from his house. And, well, a lot of that ended up in the cedar closet. And I kept telling her, you got to get that stuff out of there. I couldn't even get the door completely shut anymore. That was so jammed full. And she never came. So I said, well, I'm going to be cleaning it out. What's in there is getting tossed. She goes, I don't care. And most of the stuff that she and Joe had in there was, yeah, pretty worn and, you know, old pillows, things that I would never keep and never donate. So all of that went out in the trash. Some old sheets that, yeah, wouldn't be donated either. So I had a few bagfuls of garbage to get out in the dumpster. Thank heavens it was garbage day the next day and recycling, because I had some cardboard and, you know, old boxes that were in there too that needed to go into recycling. So both of our garbage bins were pretty full on Monday morning. Yesterday morning, now they're empty again. I can fill them up again. Heather says, boy, Mom, you must be taking my nesting syndrome from her being pregnant. They always say, you know, when you're getting closer to having your baby, you get into this cleaning syndrome. I said, yeah, that must be it. It's just because a while back I had washed up all of our winter bedding and hung it out on the line and stuff, and it's like, I can't even get this back in that closet. It's like, that's enough of this. And I finally cleaned it out. Oh, that felt so good, but I still have a big mess on my floor, because that's where all the sheet sets and blankets and a couple sleeping bags, towel, you name it, is all there for Heather to go through. And then I wanted to get the spare bedroom cleaned out, so that I have so much stuff in my bedroom yet, because that's kind of where I accumulated all the stuff that was going to be going in the rummage sale. Well, now that I didn't participate in the rummage sales, it's still all sitting there, taking up a lot of room. So I want to box that stuff up and get it in the spare bedroom. Well, my son, Cameron, still had a bunch of boxes of clothing and miscellaneous stuff in there, and I've been bugging him before he got married a couple years ago to come get that stuff. He says, nah, he says, I don't want any of it. I said, how do you know? When I was cleaning out the cedar closet, I found a really nice ESPN duffel bag that I think he had gotten when one year for Christmas I renewed his Sports Illustrated subscription, and I'm pretty sure that came as a bonus with that subscription, and it was a really nice heavy duty large duffel bag. So I had let him know about that. He goes, oh wow, he says, I need a duffel bag. I go, come and get it. And he says, yeah, I should be out, you know, sometime to get it. And I says, come get it soon. I want it out. So, yeah, they came that night, him and his wife. And then I brought out all the boxes from the spare room of all his clothes. And he actually went through it all. Hardly took a thing. So I'm going to have Jaden look at the stuff. Cameron is his idol. He adores Cameron. Cameron's his uncle. And yeah, he just, loves his Cameron. And so I thought, with this being Cameron's clothes, he probably would like to have some of them. But, you know, even because there's quite a few t-shirts in there, and Jaden can always use t-shirts. He is so hard on his clothes. Well, he's an 11-year-old boy, you know. And Cameron had a lot of t-shirts in those boxes, and he didn't take any of them. But I think they're going to be a little big on Jaden. Jaden likes them really big and baggy anyhow. So Heather said that'll be fine. And then there's some shorts in there, but Jaden doesn't like regular, like, jean shorts. Cameron had a few of the, like, the khaki shorts. Jaden just likes the stretchy kind, because he's, you know, kind of a chubby kid. Some of it due to his medication he's on. And then that medication also gives him a voracious appetite sometimes. So, yeah, he's kind of chubby. And, oh my gosh, that kid is getting so tall. I am 5'8", and he is getting to the point where he is almost as tall as me. So he's got to be like, I bet you he's 5'6" by now. And he's 11. Oh, my heavens. He has grown so much. So, yeah, I wanted him to go through Cameron's clothes and see what he wanted and see what fits. Like I said, I don't think he's going to want any of them shorts, or Cameron had a couple pair of pants in there. But again, Jaden likes the stretchy kind. He does wear jeans, you know, once in a while, but these weren't even jeans. They were like the khaki pants. So I'm sure he won't want them. So I'll be donating them to Easter Seals too. So I wanted Jaden to go through it yesterday, and he didn't. So hopefully today, because Maddie fell asleep yesterday. I had her out in the pool. She didn't want to go out in the morning, surprisingly. But then right after lunch, she wanted to. And I'm like, oh, this is your nappy time. No nappy, no nappy. No. I thought, well, okay, let's get out in the fresh air and the sunshine while we can, because late afternoon into the evening, some storms are supposed to move in. So yeah, she didn't have a nap. And she still did, you know, really good. She wasn't crabby or anything, but shortly after supper, she fell asleep in my chair. She was awake one minute, came in because she told me we had spaghetti and meatballs. She wanted another meatball. So I went in to get her another meatball. Come back in, here she's zonked out in my chair. So Heather had to carry her out to the car last night, so she didn't have a chance to look through all the towels and blankets and stuff. So sheet set. She's more or less looking kind of for twin sheets, and I don't think I have any of them. I think they're all queen size. So I don't know if she's going to want any of them sheets or not. I do want to mention, last week I had the giveaway. Well, actually the week before was the video for the giveaway for the 3 Sun Life drawing books that Sun Life Drawing so kindly is sponsoring. And then last Friday morning I drew the winners. I think it was Friday morning, right? Yeah. I drew the 3 winners, and I so far have only had one person contact me. So if you entered that giveaway, please watch the video announcing the winners, and get in contact with me as soon as possible and give me your info, because you only have until this Friday, well, Thursday night at midnight Central Standard Time, to get a hold of me and give me that info. I would hate for you to have to forfeit your coloring book. So I hope, you know, everything is okay with the other two winners. The last time when I had a giveaway, I think it was for my big 1,500 subscriber giveaway, the individual did not get in contact with me, and we drew another winner. Well, the day after that, she got in contact with me, and yeah, it was due to health reasons. And so I felt so bad. But, you know, the rules are there for a reason. So, yeah, today is Tuesday, so you have a couple, about 2.5 days yet to get in contact with me. Alrighty. So, we are done with the picture. I'll zoom back in just a tad. Okay, that turned out cute. I like it. Yeah, again, these look much brighter than they are in person, but I like how the roof came out. Not sure how keen I am on the yellow background. It almost makes it look like the house is see-through. But yeah, kind of looks like a sun, isn't it? So yeah. So I hope you liked watching this color along. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new to my channel. Hit that bell so you know when I put up new content. Again, I hope everybody's having a terrific week, and as always, happy coloring. Bye, guys.